Tonight, all eyes on the Matildas, the world's best striker against the world's best goalkeeper. Tasmania's school students don the green and gold, ready to witness history. The housing crisis under the microscope as our nation's leaders meet in Brisbane. Better than expected budget figures revealed by the Treasurer, the government downplaying energy concerns. A new report counts the costs of Tasmania's emergency room crisis. The state named the country's worst for bed block. And check your lotto tickets. One lucky winner has woken up $30 million richer.
Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening. Australians are on the edge of their seats tonight as we count down to tonight's historic World Cup semi-final. It's less than 2 hours until kick-off when our newest round ball rock stars, the Matildas, take on the old enemy, England. Chris Reason begins our special coverage.
The first team to arrive at the stadium tonight, Australia United. 75,000 lucky fans, the Tilly's ticket holders, ready to party. In fact, they're the party faithful, buying their seats long before the Matildas had booked their place here tonight.
Oh, Australia's going to win for sure, and we're in the grand final.
We're going to be loud tonight, loud and proud, so go Tillies!
After so many games called the biggest of their career, this is the latest. For the Matildas, this biggest day was spent in a low-key way. The new darlings of Australian sport briefly wandered Darling Harbour.
Get them, girls!
Skipper Sam Kerr, yesterday seen with her legs strapped up again, today was bandage-free and singing about it. Some KC sunshine on a dreary Sydney day. Singing and dancing too in the hotel overnight.
I want you on my team.
So does everybody else.
Charlotte Grant and Kyra Cooney-Cross sharing off-field moves with Katrina Gorry and daughter Harper. As the English players strolled the city too, some support sent in from home. British football royalty rolling out a Harper as well.
And just know that our whole nation is behind you as always, and good luck.
Good luck, Lionesses.
And there's Harper. Keep inspiring these girls because it's incredible to watch.
A brief chance too to meet with family and friends. Here, Emily Van Egmond gets a good luck kiss from Mum.
We just went for a walk and had a coffee and just caught up. No, she's feeling good and she said all the team's feeling great and looking forward to it.
From Ellie Carpenter's dad.
It's an exciting time and I'm so proud, the whole family is.
Hayley Rasso's brother revealing she does get nervous.
She does a little bit, yeah, but I mean, once she steps out onto the field and the crowd's going crazy, I think it very much pumps her up.
While goal sensation Mackenzie Arnold calmed her nerves with a sneak peek at the stadium.
Looking at it without people in it makes you realise how many seats there actually are.
European champions England are a threat, but the Matildas have thwarted them before.
We've got one of the best strikers in the world up against one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
And Sam Kerr has never lost a game against England's goalie, Mary Earps.
We thrive on frustrating other teams.
So tonight we find out if the Matildas make it through. The bookies have England as favourites and Australia as the underdogs, and they've done that all the way through. But every single time, this team has proved them wrong. And if they do, they'll be up against Spain.
Oh, it's in! I don't believe it!
Who defeated Sweden 2-1 overnight. As the support poured in from all corners of the country, hoping to leave England's chances beached on foreign shores. Chris Reason, 7 News.
Our Europe correspondent Ashley Mullaney is in London for us, and we will have a chat to her later. She's there with all the English fans. But for now, it looks like we're having a bit of a technical problem here. We might head to some state politics or national politics. The Prime Minister has come out swinging today. No, looks like we're not doing that either. I'm sorry, it's always one of these big bulletins. All right. Won't be a moment. The Prime Minister has come out of National Cabinet with a new target to build 1.2 million homes to ease the housing crisis. Billions of dollars will be provided to states to help boost supply, with renters to be given more rights.
Showing their support and cheering the Matildas on. West Launceston Primary School holding a penalty shootout inspired by Saturday's nail-biter against France.
We're doing a penalty shootout between the teachers and the students, and it's really fun.
There's been no goals so far, but I'm pretty confident we're going to win.
While students at Riverside Primary School were hoping for a victory in their own shootout. It wasn't to be, thanks to solid goalkeeping by the teachers, winning the shootout 3-0 in dominating fashion.
Hundreds of school students across Tasmania will be inspired by the success of the Matildas, hoping one day their football dreams become reality.
They're just creative. They always find a way to come back when they're down.
It's really inspirational for everybody and to see them doing so well.
For 12-year-old Layla Brewster, the Matildas' performance has encouraged her to aim higher. She gained valuable experience already by representing Australia in futsal earlier this year.
I think it's great for me to experience versing other countries, so that the future I have a bit of experience.
As for a prediction on who is going to win tonight, and you're hoping that they're going to win tonight?
Yes.
Do you think they're going to win? Yeah, hopefully. Who do you think's going to win?
I think it's a pretty even chance, actually.
Joining the green and gold tide, Mark Zita, 7 Tasmania News.
Apologies for that little dilemma there. We had a national politics pack, but that was about Tasmanian Matildas fans who have begun streaming into 3 live sites ahead of tonight's match. Ruby Cairns is one of our live reporters tonight at one of those sites at Hobart's Princess Wharf. Ruby, it is an exciting night, as we've already seen. What's the turnout like so far down there?
Lou, a colourful and vocal crowd have slowly started to trickle in, all hoping to secure a prime viewing spot as Matildas Mania sweeps the state. Fans have been encouraged to grab a seat here early, with live streaming beginning at 7 ahead of the 8 p.m. kickoff. It's shaping up as a nervous night ahead for many, but some are confident the Tillies have what it takes to book a spot in the World Cup final.
I thought, why not get in early and support the female soccer team? And I reckon we've got it on England. The way we played the last couple of games, we should be right. No dramas.
And the green and gold theme is also taking over landmarks in Hobart tonight, with the Tasman Bridge set to illuminate in our national colours for the big game. And if you can't make it down to one of the live sites, you can catch all the World Cup action right here on 7 Tasmania. It starts after the news. Lou.
And we can't wait. Thank you for that, Ruby. And taking a look again at the day's other news now, the man accused of murdering Cheyenne Lee Tatnall has briefly appeared before the Launceston Magistrates Court. Christopher Mark Jordan was charged over the Burnie teenager's death last month after her remains were found in bushland at Nabola. The 36-year-old did not enter a plea when he appeared via video link from Risdon Prison. His appearance lasted less than a minute. The Scottsdale man is also facing firearm and drug-related charges. The matter has been adjourned until November 29. Tasmania's coffers are more than $1 billion better off than a year ago, State Parliament heard today. Energy Minister Guy Barnett faced further probing in question time, with future projects questioned.
With the Premier away at National Cabinet, the Deputy was the one sharing the good news.
As a result of improved revenues, Mr Speaker. As a result of our strong financial management, Mr Speaker.
The deficit for last financial year, $202 million. $270 million better than expected. The state's worrisome net debt also looks considerably lighter, sitting at $1.87 billion instead of the original $2.99. Increased GST payments from the federal government has helped our bottom line, but Labor's blaming $400 million in undelivered infrastructure.
And is it sustainable to put more than $500 million of general government spending on the credit card every year?
The government faced a flurry of energy questions this morning. A second green hydrogen proponent doesn't look like delivering Bell Bay plans. Origin Energy now pausing work.
But the fact is that Tasmania currently has no energy to provide to hydrogen proponents, and they have now left our state.
We'll continue working with everyone who wants to come and bring their investment to Tasmania.
As Labor laments hold-ups with the Whaleback Ridge wind farm.
We make no apology for undertaking a thorough approach.
The government saying they're waiting for more information from the proponents.
Tasmanians are sick of listening to Guy Barnett talk about things but never ever deliver.
Guy Barnett later ordered by the Parliament to provide updated cost estimates for Marinus and other energy projects. Christy Johnston's push for an inquiry into the Office of Racing Integrity and all 3 codes of racing has been shot down after Labor and key independents voted against it.
She wants to shut down the Tasmanian racing industry, and for her this was a mechanism to allow her to do that.
When it came to the time to put their money where their mouth is, they declined to actually step forward and support this motion.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's emergency department bed block has been labelled the worst in the country in a new report. It pins the blame on cost-cutting measures, while the government says it all comes down to more people presenting to hospital.
It's a health system plagued with problems.
We've seen the lengths of stay go up. We've seen people waiting far too long in our emergency department, and we know that that has very negative consequences.
We know that there are many avoidable deaths, many premature deaths as a result of people being kept in emergency for too long, not getting care.
Policy analyst Martin Goddard's report indicates a 5% rise in public hospital patients each year, but only a 3.3% increase in beds. His findings based on the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare's data, pinpointing the Launceston General Hospital as having the worst emergency department bed block in the country.
That now is costing the state budget about $280 million a year.
By creating a system that can only be less efficient, we're spending more money. We're actually wasting money.
The so-called poor investment also impacting Tasmania's elective surgery wait list, with around 9,000 people currently in limbo. The Australian Medical Association again pleading with the federal government to increase funding by at least 5%.
And that's not a big change, and the federal government did it in times during COVID, and we want it now continued permanently, which allows people to have the surgery they need.
Meanwhile, the Health Department claims it's continuing to work on patient access and flow, implementing alternatives to emergency department attendance and opening 237 new beds since July 2018. But for those on the front line or needing care, those figures are barely scratching the surface. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
We return now to federal politics. The Prime Minister has come out of National Cabinet with a new target to build 1.2 million homes.
Securing a roof over their heads has been life-changing for Helen Margulis and her daughter Angelica.
We would have been homeless.
But another 216,000 people just like them are still waiting for social housing, left in limbo.
We literally had no idea where we were going to be going.
The key issue facing the premiers as they gathered for National Cabinet in Brisbane.
We'll be talking about housing and housing supply.
The result of that talk, a $3 billion new home bonus, incentives to the states to ease planning restrictions and release land to build a new target of 1.2 million homes, up from 1 million, over 5 years from 2024.
In short, upfront money to get housing moving quickly.
The new money, $15,000 for each of the 200,000 homes built in addition to the original 1 million house target.
This is borrowed unashamedly from some of the Hawke government reforms.
And improved renters' rights, working towards limits of 1 rent increase a year. Agreement from the premiers, but Anthony Albanese will have a tougher time with left-wing unions at Labor's national conference tomorrow. They're demanding super profits taxes to build even more houses sooner. The CFMEU is expected to force debate on the issue after Mr Albanese's keynote address. The Greens' response today.
Today the Labor Party just spat in the face of the nearly 8 million people in this country who rent and offered them basically nothing. They can polish a turd all they like, but no renter's going to buy this.
Shouting the House down. Mark Riley, 7 News.
Australian surfers have described the panic, then sense of calm after their boat sank off the coast of Indonesia on Sunday night. They spent more than 36 hours floating on their surfboards before that miraculous rescue.
4 friends who were lost at sea back together side by side.
It's just been such a crazy experience and we've just bonded so much more.
More than 36 hours spent floating on surfboards after their boat sank on Sunday night.
So stoked to be alive. Really? And yeah, so proud of them.
But at times they didn't know if they'd make it.
I jumped out, grabbed Steph, pulled her out, she had a life jacket. Then Will dove out, Geordie ran to the front of the boat. Boat started going like this, Geordie's reaching for board bags, and I'm going, get the board bags, get the board bags.
A decision that likely saved their lives.
What we went through and the experience was so intense, but we're so proud of ourselves how we just didn't give up.
Jordan, Steph and Will were the first to be found. Rescued by Australian skipper Grant Richardson.
Just lucky we were there to be able to support these guys, so yeah, it's a great outcome for everyone, so thumbs up.
It's insane the effort that went out and we feel so blessed and so loved.
Elliot Foote was found 90 minutes later. He'd tried to paddle to a nearby island to find help.
We got everyone! Sorry to put you guys through that, friends and family.
Who over the past 24 hours have been receiving the calls they've been waiting for.
With Jordan and Will, and we were just sitting on the boards and it was just like, shooting star, shooting star, shooting star.
She was really lighthearted and saying, you probably haven't had a really good few hours, Mum and Dad. We're going, oh yeah, that's a bit of an understatement.
Celebrations amongst the group are somewhat subdued, however. One of the Indonesian crewmen is still missing. Local fishermen from nearby villages and rescue crews are continuing their search, hoping that he too will be found alive.
He's still out there and, you know, it's hard to think about and we just hope the best for him.
In Indonesia, Annie Puller, 7 News.
One lucky Tasmanian has woken $30 million richer after winning the entire Oz Lotto jackpot last night. Their identity still remains a mystery as they weren't registered to a playing card. But it seemed Tassie's a good place to buy a ticket. This is our second Oz Lotto win since February, where a Strahan resident took home $10 million. Stay with us. Still to come in the news tonight, a successful summit series lands on our shores, shining a light on the issues affecting regional Tasmanians. Anger grows in Hawaii while locals say Maui's deadly wildfires could have been prevented. And how Donald Trump plans to defend against a 4th round of charges.